am so excited and happy that you guys are here with me. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I can't believe that this is video number 4. Like, I feel like I've been doing this for such a long time, but we're only on the 4th video. But I'm having such an awesome time making all of these videos for you guys, and I really hope that you're enjoying them. Today I'm going to be doing the 25 bookish facts about me tag. That way you guys will get to know just a little bit more about me and, you know, different maybe things that you didn't know about like bookish stuff and me. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing is that I love the smell of books. Walking into a bookstore and smelling all of the glorious books is just something that makes me super duper happy. It makes me feel really comforting and it makes me want to like sit down and read. But I really love when you have like a regular solid book and you flip the pages. I just think it smells so good, and you guys think I'm probably so weird, but I really truly love the smell of books. It has always been one of my favorite smells since I was a little girl, so yeah. Alright, the second thing is that the first series that I remember reading as a child was the Little House on the Prairie series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I remember when I was little, my brother and I had bunk beds in our room, and I had the top bunk, obviously because I was the older sibling, but I remember sitting up there and like covering my head in blankets and with a flashlight and reading these books until like all hours of the morning. It was probably only till like 11 o'clock at night, but to a kid I felt like I was staying up all night. But I loved these stories. I wanted to live in the Little House on the Prairie, and I really wanted to be Laura Ingalls Wilder. Now obviously I have changed quite a bit since when I was a child, but those books will always have a fond place in my heart. Alright, the third fact is that I love to read books out loud to people. Yeah, that's right. I love to take a book and read it to another person out loud. I think that it's really like satisfying, and it's a way for me to share the experience of the book with that other person. I've actually read a lot of books with my husband, and I think it's one of those things that is really cool to do with your spouse because you guys get to experience the whole book together. You get to experience all the stories and the drama and the plot twists, and it lasts a heck of a lot longer than a movie, and you get a lot of extra cuddling out of it. I am actually reading Outlander by Gabaldon right now to my dad via Facebook chat, and I think it's so cool that I can actually do this nowadays. I live here in Pennsylvania, he lives in California, and I can read this book to him and share it with him thanks to technology, so I think that's super cool. Alright, number 4. I was completely and utterly opposed to the whole like ebook generation that has come about because I was afraid that like solid books were going to become extinct. And as you know, my number 1, I love the smell of books, and I just felt that I could never get into ebooks. However, because I have traveled and moved so much the last couple of years, I haven't been able to collect as many books. I've actually had to like donate a lot of my books, which has been really sad. But because I was given an iPad, I was able to download that Kindle app, and now I can have like as many books as I want with me at any time. So I've kind of come over to the dark side a little, only because of the convenience of it, but I still prefer the solid books, paperback or hardback, to the ebook version. Number 5. Going into bookshops around Christmas time is like one of my all-time favorite things to do. I love the smells, I love the sounds, I love the sights, I love the feel of it. It just feels so comforting and like homey, and I love it. I really love it, getting a hot chocolate, browsing through all the books, not even buying, but just going, and the experience of a bookstore at Christmas is magical, and you should go try it out, and I think you'll like it. I'm just saying, give it a shot. Alright, number 6. I did not read the Harry Potter series as a child. If you've heard in my previous videos, I think it was my first video, my favorite series of all time, my mom was actually like super against the Harry Potter series because of like the whole witchcraft and wizardry element type of deal. But when I was around like 16 or 17, my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, was like, you have to read these books. And so I did, and I kind of fell in love, and you guys already know, how much I love those books. So yeah, I didn't get to experience them as a child, but I feel like I kind of got to revert to being a child while I was reading them because they were just so magical and they just made me so happy, and I really wish that I could experience that all over again for the first time. But I am so excited for that new, like the Strange Beasts movie coming out. I can't think of the dang name right now, but I'll look it up and I'll put it here somewhere. But oh my god, oh, Fantastic Beasts! I am so excited for that movie that when it was released, I like freaked out at the trailer. I was like super excited. So yeah, pardon me while I go geek out for a second. All right, number 7. My favorite book as a child was Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I read it like 3 to 4 times as a kid, and that book is pretty hefty. It's like between 600 and 700 pages depending on the publication that you get. But it was like my favorite book. I loved it so much, and I was given a really beautiful copy of it by my aunt when I was like 13 years old, and I still have it. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's like a hardcover, and yeah, it's one of those timeless classics that never gets old. Number 8, my to-be reads list on Goodreads is 1,311 books long. 1,311 I've got a lot of catching up to do. I have read 227 books since February of 2012, and that has not even made a dent in my to-be read list, but that is 56.75 books per year. There's a little math fact for you. A little math thrown into this bookish world. Number 9. I am not a sucker for romance novels, surprisingly. Even though I really like romantic movies, I just can't seem to get into a romantic novel. Now, if a novel has romance in it, I like that, I love it, but if like the whole premise of the book is romance, it's just not my thing. Number 10. I have read some books in the past that I am embarrassed to admit, and I don't like saying that because I don't think that books should be embarrassing for people, because a book you read is for you and not for anybody else. But the titles of these books will speak for themselves, and my friend Dan, you know what I'm talking about, my friend. You just know. The titles of the books are as follows. Just for Fins, Fins Are Forever, and Forgive My Fins. Yeah, it was a series about a mermaid princess. I think her dad was Triton or something, but it wasn't the Little Mermaid. In my defense, I did have a job that required a lot of sitting, and so I did a lot of reading, and these books, like the series, was free one day on Kindle, and so I read them all. But my friend Dan read them too, along with me. So there you go, Dan, I'm calling you out, making fun of me for my books. Number 11, I am currently reading the 4th book in the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. The book is called The Drums of Autumn, and I am loving it so far. Obviously, I think you guys are kind of getting the hint that I'm kind of currently obsessed with this series, and it's just amazing, and I love it. And the TV show is amazing too, and Jamie is like, he's my book boyfriend, okay? I'm just saying. He's super duper attractive.
Love you, husband.
Number 12. My favorite booktuber is Salsha Alsberg. She is from the YouTube channel called A Book Utopia, and you guys, she is just seriously so cute. I have like binge watched a lot of her videos, and I don't know, I just really like her, and she is also obsessed with Outlander, so I think that that makes me feel like we're friends, even though she probably has no idea that I exist. But I think that she is just like the bee's knees, and I really like watching her videos. Number 13, my favorite author of all time is Philippa Gregory. She is a historical fiction author. She is actually the author of my favorite book of all time, The Other Boleyn Girl. I've talked about this book a couple of times in some of my other videos. Her writing style is just completely glorious and magical, and her books are super detailed and descriptive, and you just get sucked into the story, and at the same time of being entertained, you're also learning a bit of history. So if you haven't read anything by Philippa Gregory, I highly suggest you go check her out. Number 14. Before we moved across country, I actually had to donate a lot of my books because our apartment is so tiny. It's actually under 500 square feet, and so there just wasn't enough space for all of my books. So that's why I currently am reading everything on my iPad. Number 15. I have an addiction, and that is watching book haul videos on YouTube.
It's a real problem, you guys.
I just love seeing like all of the different books that people are getting, and that's another way that I like find out about a lot of the books that I read is from book hauls, and that way I type them into Goodreads and see if I want to read them and then add them to my list, and then usually they sit there forever until I get a chance to read them, because my to-be read list is 1,311 books long. Number 16, I really don't like reading nonfiction self-help books. Now that's not to say that I think people that read them are silly, they're just not for me. I read to be entertained, and I honestly find self-help books to be a tad dry and boring. Maybe I'm not reading the right ones, but I just haven't found one yet that I've really liked. Number 17, I get overly attached to book, TV, and movie characters. It's actually kind of a big deal. If a character ever gets killed off, I will sob and become like really physically and emotionally upset. And Justin looks at me like, what the heck is your problem, girlfriend? Like, oh my God. That's the magic of books, is like you feel like these characters are your friends and then they just get killed off, and it's just upsetting, okay? It's upsetting. Number 18. One of the things that I'm looking for in a house when Justin and I finally purchase a house is there has to be a room that's big enough for me to make into a library, because let me tell you, as soon as I have the space, I am buying all of the books that I can, and I'm going to fill those darn shelves, and I'm gonna spend every waking minute in that library. Nope, not really, because I'm hoping to have babies at some point, and that's just not gonna be something I'm gonna be able to do, but a girl can dream, right? Number 19. My junior year of high school, I was actually exempt from all of the final exams in my English class, so that was like fall and spring semester, because I had read over the amount of required pages for the year. I think the required amount for like both terms was 1,000, and I read somewhere like upwards of 3,000 pages, so my English teacher came to me and was like, you really don't have to take the final exam because you've just like way exceeded the reading for this class. So hey guys, listen kids, reading can actually like maybe help you get exempt from finals. Maybe, I don't know, but it did for me. Number 20, I go through different genre obsessions. So like at some time I will be obsessed with like historical fiction, at another time it'll be young adult dystopian, at another time it's science fiction, at another time it's like young adult paranormal books. Yeah, that's a thing, young adult paranormal books. But it doesn't matter what book I'm reading, I really do love it, and I don't really have a favorite genre, so I think that's why I do read so many different genres. Number 21, I don't understand how some people don't like reading. It literally baffles me and blows my mind when I meet somebody that's like, I just don't like reading. And to me, that's, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Number 22, I have 4 different library cards to 4 different libraries across the country. That's how I read so many books for free, you guys. You should really utilize your local library, because you can get ebooks, you can get solid books, you can rent movies, you can rent music. It's like a super underused thing that I think that people, especially in our generation, they don't use enough. So you want to read a lot of free books? Get a library card. It's really the way to go. Number 23. I have always wanted to write a book, and I've actually sat down and started writing a book, but then I get distracted by things and I never come back to it or never finish it. And really, I've only gotten like a couple of chapters into a book before, but I would like to think that maybe one day I will write a book, and who knows, maybe I'll be like the next big author one day. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe. Number 24. During high school, I was obsessed with any and all books written by the author V.C. Andrews. She writes these like mystery thriller, like, I don't know how to describe her books, but they're like spooky, and she has like a ton of different books. You guys should Google her. But she wrote the book The Flowers in the Attic, which I think was made into a movie. Her stuff is just like super spooky and creepy, and especially around like fall, you know, like the Halloween time, I like to read those kind of books to put me in the mood for spooky time. And yeah, it's just a great book to read during a fall day. All right, you guys, we've made it to the last one. I know, this video is so long, but you're getting to learn so much about me. For 25. I actually check my Goodreads account more than I check Facebook. Goodreads is like my favorite website and my favorite app on my phone because it has to deal with books. So if you guys aren't following me, you guys should go check me out. I'm sure you see like a lot of the posts I make on Facebook in regards to Goodreads. And it's just so cool because you have like a virtual library of all of the books that you want to read, and it keeps track of like where you're at in your book. You can share it with friends, you can follow other people on there, and it's just a super duper cool app and website, and I love it so much. All right, you guys, that is it. Thank you so much for staying with me through this video. I know it was kind of long, but I thought that it was a cool way for me to share some stuff with you guys about myself and for you to be able to get a little bit more information about me. I would love if you guys would make like a response video and tell me 25 bookish facts about you. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends, and don't forget, pick up a book, immerse yourself, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Hey guys, welcome, no, got it. Hey guys, welcome back. I can never ever start these things the right way. Gotta have some water.